Hi, my name is Sandra. I'm a second year Doctor of Occupational Therapy student. Actually, scratch that. I just finished my second year of occupational therapy school. So I'm technically a third year OT. OT3. It won't count till I can say OTD. And I also just got my bill for my last year of school, and I realized that as I was looking into school, the only thing that talked about money was the estimates from the universities that I was looking at, where they kind of gave you like a budget breakdown of your cost of education. And while that was helpful, it was also just not a real person. And I don't know why we don't talk about the cost of education, but I feel like we should, so I'm here doing it. I'm gonna go through my total expected cost of education. Like I said, I still have about 12 months of school left. For context, I live in Denver and my program is a hybrid program. It is also a private university. So my total cost of education is going to be about $156,000. I have three major categories that go into that number, so let's do it. My first major category is my cost of living. This is where being in a hybrid program is important. I have been able to pay for my cost of living out of pocket with money that I earned while working. I worked as a nanny as well as for my undergrad university's Office of Admissions throughout grad school. I've not taken a penny in loans to pay for rent, clothes, groceries, anything like that, and that's been a huge privilege, and it was also a huge factor in going to a hybrid program. I still have the same amount of work as any other program, but my time is more flexible because I don't have to be at a lecture at 8 a.m. every single day. I can watch my lectures on my own time. You can watch some of my other videos to see how this plays out. But ultimately, my cost of living up to this point in my education, which is about 20 months, has been $24,000. That covers my rent and utilities, my groceries, things like car insurance, gas for transportation, car maintenance, hygiene and household items, personal kind of care, and then personal spending. I do have a social life. I do budget for personal spending every month, and I spend the money that I make. I do not pay for things like my phone bill or health insurance. I am still on my parents' health insurance, and I'm on their phone plan, and they've been kind enough to float that cost for me, and that's a huge privilege. In total, if I kept with the same kind of monthly budget every month, I will be spending about $43,000 on my cost of living by the time I'm done with my education. Cost of education, not including tuition and fees, is the next major breakdown. With most graduate professional healthcare programs, you are going to have to travel for clinical sites. You have to pay for books, online access to like documentation, or even online access to books, like drug screens and background checks for your clinicals, scrubs, because you have to go to different hospitals and wear different color scrubs. That is the cost of education that is not included in tuition. I budget about $2,000 a year for that. Now for the tuition and fees portion, the part that inspired this video. The reason that this inspired the video is because when I got the bill for this next year, it gives you a budget breakdown. And in our budget breakdown, I'll just post it because I'm giving you the numbers so you can know the cost of things. But in our budget breakdown, it says things like travel expenses, cost of living, transportation. And then it says estimated tuition and fees. And at first glance, yeah, okay, this is the budget breakdown. First of all, the numbers that they give skewed high, always, whatever. The only number that I feel like should not be estimated in the university's budget breakdown is the tuition and fees. And yet, this is the only number that states that it is estimated. They're charging us. Imagine walking into the grocery store, like getting your groceries and saying, okay, how much is this gonna cost me? Because the grocery store sets the prices. And they say, well, we estimate that it's gonna be $70 this week. Like what? No, that's not at all how this works. I digress. My cost of education, all said and done, is gonna be about $130,000. This includes tuition and fees. I am paying that money with loans. That's how I've afforded this. And I don't need your opinion. Honestly, I've done my own financial research and I have planned to pay off those loans. If you have helpful information about how you tackled your loans, I would love to hear that. But going all Dave Ramsey on me and telling me that financing an education with loans is a bad idea, great, that might be true for you. It's not true for me. So thank you. If you are considering going to grad school and you're actually curious about what my decision was, I will dive into that just a little bit. Ultimately, I go to a private university. Those are just more expensive. That's just how it works. I chose a university that has amazing outcomes, and a huge factor, like I said, was the ability to work because it's a hybrid program. That has made all the difference. My university is also well esteemed, and on the fieldworks that I've been on, I have gotten amazing feedback from fieldwork educators that I am above the expectations, and I attribute that to the education that I'm receiving. It's a good education. At the end of the day, if you have an OT degree, you can get a job in OT. I don't want to just get a job in OT. I never did. I want to be innovative and influential in the field, and I chose a university that was going to prepare me to do that, as well as a degree that was going to prepare me to do that. I chose the doctorate route, which adds another year of education. All to say is I'm happy with my decision. Did I consider a cheaper school? You betcha. I applied to and was accepted to a state university, and I thought that there would be just this insane difference, and there wasn't. There was not an insane difference in the cost of education. So I've gone back and broken that down. My cost of education for a master's degree at a state university was going to be $90,000. Now, if we add in the cost of living and the education not including tuition, I would have all in been $116,000. I would not have been able to work, or I wouldn't have been able to work as much. So I would have had to take loans for my cost of living. So my loan balance would have been $116,000-ish. Versus the 130, let's round up and say $140,000. So it would have been $24,000 cheaper. Yes, I would have had a master's degree. That's not what I wanted. For what? For $20,000? Like, great. I don't think it would have been worth the savings. I don't think so. I think I am genuinely happy with my choice. Let's see what spending potential, or what earning potential I have. This is serious to consider. If you're going into occupational therapy because you think you're gonna be rich, like, that's just maybe not it. It is a career of passion, but we're just gonna jump on Glassdoor, occupational therapy salary. So this has actually gone up since I last looked, which is good. That's always a good thing. The base pay average occupational therapy salary is $80,000 a year. The range is between $75,000 and $124,000 a year. The average occupational therapist salary in Denver is $97,381 per year. This is great earning potential. Let's consider the fact that I am not an anomaly when it comes to my dollar amount of student loans. If we're looking at studentloanplanner.com as our source, average OT student loan planner client has about $190,000 in student loans. In fact, 40% of our occupational therapists have student loans in excess of $200,000. And they wonder why they have shortages in the field and insanely high burnout. There's a lot of routes to go to OT school. I just think that you should be educated on what the finances are going to look like for you. Don't go in making a blind decision, and also make smart financial choices while you're in school. I made the conscious decision to go to a hybrid program so that I could work during the program. It was hard as hell to work through school. I had more than I can count 20-hour days where I would work for all day and also need to study. It was not easy. Being a hybrid student made it possible, but that didn't make it any easier. I was busy. I have worked my butt off for the past 2 years. OT school alone is hard. I gained 20 pounds in just like stress weight. I lost like half of my hair. I don't think I felt this light since August of 2021. Well, $130,000 in loans is terrifying. I also know that I have a plan that I've had from the start, and I will be able to tackle it. At the end of the day, know your reason, know your why, and make a smart financial plan and know your numbers. Also, liking this video and maybe subscribing to my channel supports me in this journey that I'm on, and I would love for you to do that. Plus, we will have some interesting fieldwork content coming for you in the next year and change. See you next time.